This hat's getting well seasoned. Time for something new. There we go. So things keep changing and evolving. I'm trying to find new ways to keep moving my company forward and not lose my insanity in the process. How's it go? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity, or the definition of insanity, right? Something like that. So that's how I've been feeling for this entire season, just grinding it out every day, every day, every day. So I'm trying to, like I've said in previous videos, make some changes to better myself, my business, my family, and so on, instead of just talking about it and hoping for the best and thinking that, you know, it's all going to magically end. Which, you know, as the summertime rolls in, things are going to slow down a little bit, availability is going to open up, so things will change in that way. But I didn't want to keep going and waiting all that time for that. I wanted to actually make real change. But one of the things that I really want to talk about, there's an opportunity, there might be an opportunity coming up soon in the near future where I could potentially be hiring a full-time employee. There's a candidate that I've spoken to. There's actually been a few over the last month or two that I have thought about and have had the conversation with, potentially having a full-time employee, aka crew leader, and that's ultimately my goal. But right now, how things have been and are going, you know, I have several part-time employees. I've got 23 or 24, I think. I haven't checked recently, but 23, we'll say. Fertilization weed control accounts, 54 weekly mowing accounts. Some of that overlaps, meaning I mow and fertilize their accounts. So it's a good amount of accounts. And I've kind of slowed down on being aggressive to get more accounts. And also, by default, the phones and emails and things have slowed down a little bit. One, because I haven't been pushing it as hard, and two, it's just kind of, people are kind of getting over that whole spring rush thing and just kind of settling in. So now we get into the next phase of where people are going on vacations, you know, and looking for someone to take care of their lawn while they're gone, which happens often to me. Like, you know, neighbors of clients I already have will contact me or walk up to me and ask me if I can take care of their lawn, and I have a pretty good conversion ratio on that, where I can convert those people to weekly clients when they come back from vacation, because they're so happy with how their lawn looks, and it's just so easy. And I always say, hey, I could just keep you on our schedule every Tuesday or whatever it is. You don't have to worry about it for the rest of the season, and they end up being my client for years. I do that every year. I always convert people doing that. But also, it's the time where people, you know, move. You know, they sell their house or whatever, they move into the area and they're looking for a service, or it's just too hot and they just can't do it anymore. So, you know, you still get those people contacting you. It's just not as much as the spring rush, where the season's starting, the grass is growing, and people are just in need of lawn care for all of the reasons I mentioned for the summer and then some. So with all that being said, there's still a lot of opportunity for growth, but I haven't been as aggressive with it recently because of everything I've been going through, and just the availabilities of my part-timers and all the work that I've been doing still on my own all day, working like 12-hour days every day, and trying to just make sense of it all and keep growing. So my question is, with all that being said, I do have plans to keep growing, and as far as marketing my business and getting more accounts. And you always feel like when you have the right staffing, you have that confidence to go out and get more accounts, instead of just kind of being reactive and defensive. You can kind of be more proactive and play offense when you have that peace of mind and that staffing. But when you don't, like I said, you kind of get all defensive and reactive, and you're not really thinking about adding too much more work on, because how much can you really handle? My question is, should I just stick with part-time employees that I have, or should I make room for a full-time employee if the opportunity does present itself, if things do play out that this candidate looks like a good fit for the job, for the role, for my company, etc.? just get a full-time employee, and the hours will adjust for everyone, and I will be more confident to bring on more work. I honestly think I only need 1 or 2 small commercial accounts, which is a lot of new properties, construction behind my storage and everything going on that are going to need to be maintained. So I definitely was thinking about approaching them. I mean, it's right there, so that's super convenient. But there's all kinds of properties everywhere that I could be approaching, just to more so have year-round work, right? Because one of my major concerns for having a full-time employee is health benefits, because I don't have any full-time employees. So that's a whole new thing to get involved in that. I know it's going to be super expensive until, you know, I have more employees and all this kind of stuff. It's just a whole new thing that I didn't really want to get involved with in an expense. I know that's something that you really owe your full-time employees, because they have a life to live and bills to pay and potential health issues also. So that's always been one of my biggest challenges. How can I get a full-time employee and offer benefits? But this candidate is a veteran and gets all their medical through the VA, so they're not concerned with health benefits. Obviously some other benefits, other full-time benefits would be helpful, like retirement, things like that. But as far as health benefits, he doesn't have to worry about that. So that's something that is a huge relief, and I don't have to worry about. He's just more concerned about the pay and the hours, which I can guarantee the pay and the hours as long as I can get enough work for that year round. That's my second biggest challenge, because here in Central Virginia we don't get a whole lot of snow that requires you to do any work. There's no real plowing or snow blowing. You know, homeowners do not want to pay us to do any of that kind of stuff unless we're getting like a foot of snow. Because normally if we get several inches, even if it's like up to 5 or 6 inches, it's going to melt over the course of the next 2 days, because it's just the sun comes back out and it gets pretty warm and everything melts. It refreezes and turns to ice a lot of the times and schools out for like a week, so that stinks. But for people's driveways, it usually is clear in a couple of days. They don't want to pay someone 50 or 60 bucks or whatever it is to come out and take care of their driveway, depending on the size of their driveway. So what that means is the best way, and sometimes the only way, to make good money for any kind of snow or any kind of money with snow removal in Central Virginia is to have commercial accounts. Some, you know, office buildings, obviously big parking lots, you know, all that stuff's got to be maintained. And they usually have, you know, zero trigger, you know, up to an inch or whatever it is that you got to get out there and get that snow cleared off, or at the very least be putting salt or some sort of ice melt down to keep the parking lots and the sidewalks and everything safe for their customers to come. So that's going to give you work right there. So that's another reason why I've been wanting to, and I spoke about this early in the season, and I've talked to several commercial accounts that look like small enough that if I had to do it by myself, I could. But at the same time, the goal is to have employees and keep them working through the winter. Even if it's not, you know, 5 days a week, it's still keeping them busy enough that I can still pay them enough for them to get by through the winter. So those are some of the plans for keeping the hours going throughout the winter. In addition to leaf removal, I've taken on a lot of new accounts this year and have kept in mind, instead of avoiding the properties that have a lot of trees and a lot of leaves that are probably going to fall, that require a lot of time to clean up, a lot of cleanups that I've avoided because lack of staffing and the right setup. I have spoke about this early this season and over the winter that I want to prepare myself to take on more accounts like that with more of that work to keep me working through the late fall into early winter, not only for myself but also for employees, so that we can just keep working and keep the revenue coming in, so there's not that, you know, month or two hiatus where we're not really doing anything. So leaf removals and cleanups, and then trying to get some small commercial accounts that require snow removal, because we always get something, you know, over the winter. We usually have several snowstorms or snow events, but they're very small amounts of accumulation and they're few and far between. We usually get one big accumulation every year, and then we can make some money off of our residents, our clients, that way. It's more consistent if we have a commercial property, because then anytime there's some kind of accumulation or freezing rain or anything, we can go out there and maintain that commercial property. So those are my thoughts for keeping us busy and keeping the revenue coming in, so that I can afford to have a full-time employee, because part-timers, they're not really too worried about it. They can find other work, or they're usually working a couple of days a week only anyway, so it's not a big deal. But if I have a full-timer that is living off of 5 days a week worth of income, I need to be able to supply that work for them. So those are my thoughts for getting that work. So a little bit of a longer video, but I just want to get all my thoughts out there and get your opinions and see what you guys have to say, what you've experienced, what you might be planning on doing yourself. Should I just stick with part-time employees right now at this point in my business, or take my growth to the next level, take advantage of an opportunity of potential full-time employee that I'll be speaking with in the upcoming weeks, and see how that goes? Should I even go down that road, or should I wait till later? I obviously have my own thoughts and my own opinions, and it's my own business needs, but I always appreciate your feedback. Everything that you guys say to me, I listen to them, I read them, I listen to them, I think about them, good, bad, or indifferent. Even if it's just sharing your experiences, I appreciate it. And I know everyone else in the comments that watches this video and reads the comments also appreciates it. And that's what it's all about. It's all about sharing in the community, so we can all grow together, faster, stronger. And that's what it's all about. So please comment below. I appreciate you guys for watching my journey and sharing your journey. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and remember to keep being a rookie for life.